Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am your wonderful host, Cincos. Welcome to another day in craziness as we are following the Kyle Rittenhouse story and the court case and everything that's going in with it. And today it comes out that MSNBC is following the jury bus. And this came out this morning. Here's a report from Fox in regards to what Judge Schroeder in the court case has been saying. This morning he officially banned MSNBC News from the courthouse, citing this incident. I'll go ahead and read you a little bit of the article. A judge in Kyle Rittenhouse trial banned MSNBC News from the courthouse Thursday after he said a person who identified himself as a producer was suspected of trying to follow a bus containing jurors. Kenosha police said earlier Thursday morning that a person was taken into custody after being suspected of trying to photograph jurors. The investigation is ongoing, police said, adding that the person was issued several traffic-related citations. No pictures of any jurors were taken by the individual, the police department said. Late Thursday morning in court, Judge Bruce Schroeder said the person identified themselves as James J. Morrison, who claimed he was a producer with NBC News employed by MSNBC. Schroeder said that the individual was following the jury bus the night prior. The jury in this case is being transported from a different location in a bus with windows covered so that they aren't exposed to anything on one side or the other, Schroeder explained. That's been done every day. Morrison allegedly said he was told to follow the jury bus by his boss in New York, identified as Irene Bayan. He was taken in for violating a traffic control signal. I believe he ran a red light, if I'm not mistaken, but ran a red light to follow the bus. This is a very serious matter, and I don't know what the ultimate truth of it is, Schroeder said, but absolutely would go without much thinking that someone who is following a jury bus, that is very serious, extremely serious matter, and will be referred to the proper authorities for further action. Okay, so we got this. We have the court case of Kyle Rittenhouse. We've already had many issues that the defense has requested. They requested a mistrial with prejudice, which means that they couldn't bring up the trial again. And then just yesterday, I believe it was when they officially asked just for a mistrial without prejudice, just regular mistrial, which the trial will get picked up again and will happen all over again. However, my understanding is that's good for the defense. But it begs the question when we have this matter, and there's already been instances within the court case itself, the fact that, quote unquote, was from the judge Schroeder himself, that there was a grave constitutional violation of Kyle's when the prosecution was framing his silence and him not talking to the media or him not telling his story, which is your absolute constitutional right, framing that as a bad thing, which you are not allowed to do, and it is a very common decorum in the court. But the prosecution broke that, as well as also discussing evidence that the judge had said would not be admitted into the court. So you have several factors that would make you think that a mistrial would be probably the best course. And now not only is there protests happening outside of the courthouse itself, and you have people saying that Kyle should have never made it to trial, insinuating that he should have been killed. So, and I mean, I get that they're taking the jurors by bus that's covered up to the courthouse every day, but I struggle to believe that the jurors don't know that this is going on. I struggle to believe that the jurors haven't either heard, seen, or someone's telling them about this, and that they have a fairly large fear about having backlash on them if they don't convict Kyle. We saw it with the Derek Chauvin jurors. There's at least two of them saying that they feared for their lives, they feared for their families. And so you have protests happening outside. You have threats coming to the judge himself, hundreds of messages a day threatening him and his family. You have threats on Kyle. It's all over Twitter. It's right there outside the courtroom. You've had different days where there's been people trying to take pictures of the jurors. Now you had MSNBC literally have one of their producers follow the juror bus and attempt to take pictures. I mean, what's the point of that? Is that not a threat to our justice system? Is that not a threat to everyone that that you could be on court one day for defending yourself, or you could be on trial for defending yourself, and the fact that at the media, if you don't fit the narrative, or if you're actually against the narrative of what the mainstream media is, they will burn you. They'll do everything they can to ensure that you don't get a fair trial. And James Morrison, the guy that the producer that was so called hired, or allegedly hired to follow jurors, was hired by what was her name? Irene Bayan, which has since deleted. Apparently was instructed their journalists to follow a jury bus. So that's MSNBC, and they have then, since that, the Irene has deleted her her LinkedIn account. As we can see, it's happening here. Irene Byron, booking producer. You go to LinkedIn. This profile is not available. Happened today. So I find it extremely fishy in this whole matter. So we have, you've already known it, but the mainstream media is against Kyle and doing everything they can to put the situation as much in their favor as possible, even if it means punishing a 18-year-old young man for defending himself and turning the world against him and trying to persuade the jurors out of fear to convict him. I think it's a sad day for Americans. I think it's a scary day for Americans when you cannot count on a fair trial. And I mean, maybe you can make arguments that it's happened a lot before, but everything's so political now that it's definitely scary. And it's definitely scary when you're not on the side of the mainstream media, the entire empire that wants to take you down when you defend yourself with a gun. I personally think there should be a mistrial. Granted, I'm not a lawyer. My opinion means very little, but that's just mine. Tell me what you think. Do you think there is going to be a mistrial? Do you think there's going to be a mistrial prejudice? You know, give me predictions of what y'all think is going to happen. I hope for a mistrial. I hope Kyle gets off. I don't think he deserves to be put behind bars again. I don't think he deserves that. I think it was self-defense. And I think it's more than just him that's on trial. It's our ability to defend ourselves. It's a right to self-preservation. It's a right for you to have guns. All that is on trial right now. So I'm hopeful, but we'll see in the coming days. Let me know your predictions. Please comment. If you like the video, please like it, subscribe, and until next time, I'll see y'all later.